Welcome to my NHL historic rebuild featuring the 2011-2012 Montreal Canadiens. The journey starts at the 2011 NHL draft. I'll be drafting three important players in Oscar Klefbom, Tobias Reider, and Andrew Shaw. Oscar Klefbom will be a top pair defenseman for the Canadiens in the future. Tobias Reider will be a top six forward, and Andrew Shaw will be a third line center. First trade I'm going to make for the Canadiens is trade Erik, Gill, and Ryan White to the Los Angeles Kings for Trevor Lewis, Brad Richardson, and a 2012 fifth-round pick. This pick is going to be used to select Colin Miller. Erik, Gill, and Ryan White would be helpful to a team trying to make a playoff push. Trevor Lewis would be a great depth player for the Canadiens. So would Brad Richardson. Colin Miller would be a nice bottom pair defenseman. Second trade I'm going to make is trade Andrei Kostitsyn, Raphael Diaz, and Louis Leblanc to the Nashville Predators for Mattias Ekholm, Gabriel Bourque, and a 2013 fourth-round pick. This pick is going to be used to select Juuse Saros. Andrei Kostitsyn is a talented player, but he can be a bit of a problem child. Is a good depth defenseman, and LeBlanc could possibly be a solid depth forward for the Predators. Mattias Ekholm will be a good top four defenseman for the Canadiens. Gabriel Bourque will be a nice depth player to have. Juuse Saros is a nice goaltending prospect to have in the system. Third trade I'm going to make is trade Mike Cammalleri, Thomas Kaberle, and Mike Blunden to the Calgary Flames for Sven, Baertschi, Comeau, and a 2012 second-round pick. This pick is going to be used to select Jake McCabe. Now it's obvious that the Canadiens are in a rebuild, so they should trade their veteran players on the roster. Mike Cammalleri and Thomas Kaberle get the chance to play for a contending team. Sven Baertschi would possibly be a top six winger for the Canadiens. Comeau would be a top nine winger for the Canadiens. Jake McCabe has the potential to be an all-situational top four defenseman. Fourth trade I'm going to make is trade Brian Gionta and Travis Moen to the Buffalo Sabres for Marcus Foligno and Zach Kassian. Brian Gionta and Travis Moen should get the chance to play on a contending team. Marcus Foligno has the potential to be a top nine forward, but if he can't be a top nine forward, he can be a nice fourth liner. Zach Kassian can be a solid top nine forward as well, but he has the potential to be a top six actually if he's playing with the right players. The fifth trade I'm going to make is trade Rene Bourque, Blake Geoffrion, and Chris Cammalleri to the Colorado Avalanche for a third-round pick in 2012 and a fourth-round pick in 2013. These picks will be used to select Shayne Gostisbehere and Nick Paul. This trade originally was just to get rid of some players that won't even be playing on the roster next year, as I need to make room for new up-and-coming players. Shayne Gostisbehere will be a great second-pair defenseman that plays on the first power play unit. You can call him a power play specialist, basically. Nick Paul has the potential to be a top six forward. The last move we are going to make before we head into the 2012 draft is waive Scott Gomez. Scott Gomez was just doing miserable with the Montreal Canadiens. It just wasn't working out. With the new talent coming in, there is just no room for Scott Gomez. The 2012 draft. Drafting six young, talented players in Alex Galchenyuk, Phillip DiGiseppe, Jake McCabe, Jimmy Vesey, Shayne Gostisbehere, and Colin Miller. These 6 players will be very instrumental to the Montreal Canadiens' success in the future. Starting with Alex Galchenyuk. Alex Galchenyuk will be our first-line center. Phillip DiGiseppe can be a solid top 9. Vesey will be a nice top 6 forward. Shayne Gostisbehere, as I covered before, will be a power play specialist that's playing on the second pair as well. Colin Miller, I talked about before, he can be a nice bottom pair defenseman, and Jake McCabe can be an all-situational top 4 defenseman. So, to summarize this, we would have added via trade Trevor Lewis, Brad Richardson, Mattias Ekholm, Gabriel Bourque, Sven Baertschi, Comeau, and Zach Kassian. They would have added via draft Oscar Klefbom, Tobias Reider, Andrew Shaw, Alex Galchenyuk, Phillip DiGiseppe, Jake McCabe, Vesey, Shayne Gostisbehere, Colin Miller, Nick Paul, and Juuse Saros. They would have lost Erik, Gill, Ryan White, Andrei Kostitsyn, Raphael Diaz, Leblanc, Tomas Kaberle, Blunden, Brian Gianta, Travis Moen, Rene Bourque, Blake Jeffrion, Chris Campoli, and Scott Gomez. The 2011-2012, not the worst team in the league, but they were due for a rebuild. After this rebuild, they will be contenders in 2 to 3 years. Next, I will be rebuilding the 2006-2007 Washington Capitals.